The season moves into round 7, and from Moorabbin, St.Kilda was desperate to get back into the top 6 after last week going down to Carlton. The Crows vividly remembered the Tony Lockett onslaught from last year. Would it be a repeat performance?
It's round 7, and what a season it's been so far. Winners, sometimes impossible to pick, with the upsets continuing week after week. Last week we had 2 one-point results at the MCG on consecutive days. Today we had 4 matches played, and our coverage tonight centring on the big ones at Moorabbin and at Victoria Park. Later in the show, Football Stop Press with Scotty Palmer from the Sunday Herald Sun. Last year, in round 7, the Crows made the journey to Moorabbin for the first time and came away suffering a 131-point thumping, Tony Lockett booting 12 goals. Today, they went there hoping for better fortune, although their timing, I guess, could have been better, with the Saints desperate to bounce back after losing a thriller to Carlton at Princes Park in round 6. Adelaide, however, had strung 2 wins together, not premiership winning form yet, but getting better at least. Tonight we pick up play with 11 minutes remaining in the first quarter, and Adelaide is leading by 26 points. Our commentators are Sandy Roberts, Dennis Committee and Bernie Quinlan.
Saints supporters already under tremendous stress. Moorabbin to send them forward towards Stuart Lowe, out in front, big arms.
Interesting where he's starting off at the centre bounce, and he's about 15 metres in front of Tony Lockett. Not playing the usual centre-half forward role, which is right up the ground. Here's that replay again. Once Stewie Lowe's out in front, he had his name written all over that one. Never in danger of losing at mark.
Going to be kicking from just inside 50. Going to be very close. I think he's made it. The first for the Saints. Stuart Lowe's first. 1-1 plays 4-3.
It's been a long time coming for St Kilda, 20 minutes into the first quarter, but looking at the windsock, they may be kicking slightly into the breeze. The wind could be, I feel, favouring Adelaide just slightly. As we look at that kick again, a good kick from about 45 metres out. He had a kick from a similar distance early in the match and fluffed it completely, but much better effort that time.
St Kilda work it forward out of the centre. This is Bowie. Back to goal initially. Pulls it back across his body. Maynard goes back and takes a good mark. Deep in his own defensive area. Across the ground. Wiedemann has it. Up from the back pocket. 4-3 to 1-1. Filkey. And centre half back. Across the ground, setting Lee a task. This will be interesting. Lee and Burke striding out. He pushes it through the wing, Lee. Still he goes down towards right half forward. Well played, Scott Lee. It's a kick, a hurried one, and gains another 15 metres. It runs out of bounds and will be thrown in just outside the attacking 50 for the Crows.
Yes, great effort there by Scott Lee. He looked to be in some sort of danger at the start. A dangerous kick across ground by Filkey, but Lee was up to the task.
Umpires today, Trevor Garrett and Chris Mitchell. Garrett from Western Australia. Ball behind. Filkey's got it, taken high surely, and it will be a free. Umpire Mitchell coming in quickly. So far they've scored the fight in terms of free kicks for the Saints, 8-3. No doubting that one.
No doubt, Dennis.
Filkey goes in short. Ingerson on the lead. Fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. Sanderson hard against the boundary line. Timely push. Wins the free kick.
Well, where was the push, though? It looked very much as if he was pushed right in the middle of the back.
Oh, I thought it was in the shoulder. That was... What do you think, Sandy? The eyebrows raised.
Side with Bernie, I think.
Thank you, Sandy.
Shanahan did the pushing. Here's Shanahan again. Across half back towards the outer side. On his knees, Harvey. Claimed by Schwert, holding the ball, says the umpire.
Good decision.
Got the free.
It was a good decision. He let it go. He was over the top of the ball and just let it go underneath him.
Schwert, long kick inside the 50. They'll contest about 25 metres out. The Saints have the numbers. Liptak almost had the ball. Reaches back. Wakes it in, then disputes it with, I think it's Allen down there. We've got a whistle. And there'll be a bounce about 10 metres out. So 4-3 to 1-1.
Almost in the square. Sanderson a high kick. Hodges was there, pulling it back, but without success. It was Matthew Liptak. Another behind. 4-4. Goes 1-1. Russell Morris to bring it back into play.
Ooh.
It just stuck for Robert Harvey. Cry of anguish from Bernie, but it was okay. In towards the middle. Giorgio. Off to Harvey. Now Burke trying to run through the centre. He gets clear. Low again is the target. He's too good.
He's too tall for Maynard. That's the problem there for Maynard. He's just lack of inches going to tell against him.
Lockett with Wren over the back. The big Crow tried to mark it. Couldn't do so. Kickett's at the bottom. Smart is in there. Lockett comes through strongly. The ball has gone through for one behind.
And took back with him, Sandy. About 8 players moved when Lockett came through there. And strong man.
That's a good sign for the Crows, though. Lee standing his ground.
Hard it was. He kicked it back into play. Could be very costly. Winmar takes the hand pass, flicks it back in towards Lee territory, and he marks safely for the Crows.
The ball did appear to hold up there on that occasion, Sandy, coming into that 10-metre square.
He's going to have to go back. Look over his mark. He was looking for Wren. 20 points, the margin, favouring the Adelaide Crows. Looking for their first win against St Kilda. Almost the mark to Maynard. He recovers well, off to McDermott. McDermott again. The advantage is going to be paid. There was a tackle too high as Filkey gets a kick down towards Scott Hodges. Can't quite take it on the half volley. Out to Jarman he goes. Clever football, but it's Morris who intercepts. Back to Newport. Giorgio's got a bit of room. He's got a ton of room. Has a look up towards Lockett. Not a good kick. Maynard is there. Bowie. Leg will be free kick.
Yeah, no doubt. The Adelaide players very disappointed with the decision, but no doubt about that. He was about to have that shot at goal. Let's have a look at that again. He did duck initially. I think the St Kilda fans thought he may have deserved a free kick for that, but he did duck into that tackle and then grabbed by the leg.
So Brett Bowie directly in front. 25 metres out for the Saints' second. Got it. His first. St Kilda's second, 2-2, but they trail Adelaide who double their score, 4-4.
It's good play.
Martin is 14 points. McDermott dragged off it. It falls back towards him. Bowie in there, a wry smile, and we've got a whistle alongside the centre circle. There's McDermott, drafted by the Brisbane Bears back in '87, as was Andrew Jarman. One down by Vidovic. Burke to the advantage of Bowie on his knees. Did well. Newport over the top to release Burke. Brilliant spin turn. Carries him down towards right half forward. Fletcher left it behind. Knocked away brilliantly by Lee, who got it to Hart. Wren in turn gets it to Filkey, who's taken high. No free kick. Advantage is paid if there was. Sanderson comes away. Ran into a dead end. Jarman too slow. Run down by Pekin. Winmar quick hands away to Harvey. Harvey quickly too gets it to Giorgio. Back through the middle to Allen. Allen runs to centre half forward. Probing kick. Lockett should mark this. Smart never had a chance.
Tony Lockett, as soon as he saw that Allen had the ball, he was stood in the square and waved for Allen to go long. And that's exactly what he did. He was in beautiful position to take that mark.
Nigel Smart would have had the feeling there like somebody is going to back into you in the parking area. You feel helpless. He knew he was a sitting duck for Lockett over the top that time. Lockett duly took the mark, and this to narrow the margin to 8 points. He's kicked it. So Lockett gets his first. 28 plays 20.
And that's Tony Lockett's 30th goal for the season. Sporting a new haircut today, Tony Lockett. We have a look at this mark again. Adelaide messed that up. They had the advantage there in the centre of the ground, had the free kick, played on. Advantage was played, was called, but here's that long probing kick from Allen. Tony Lockett just had the sit, and Nigel Smart, no chance whatsoever.
The margin back to 8 points inside 3 minutes of the first quarter. Harvey dashes through the pack. Just pokes it out wide, giving Giorgio a run. Well done by Lee. He beats him. Tackled late by Winmar, but it's Klug towards Ingerson. That was the player he wanted. But the Saints are able to get out of trouble. Allen from half back towards Newport on the wing. With him is McGuinness, wearing him like a glove, and he sees it over the line while behind play.
So I don't think Scott Lee was too happy with the attention from Nicky Winmar after he got rid of that ball just in front of the grandstand here.
Play goes on. Allen tries to get it out. Fletcher back to Allen again. Gains 25 metres off to Newport. Now Burke, but he can't control it with Jarman on his hammer. And so another throw. (4-4). The Crows, St.Kilda a 3-2. Bowie. Pushed, said the umpire. But Bowie playing his 50th game today as he gets it off to Nathan Burke towards Lowe at half forward. Had to beat 3, couldn't do so. Fletcher tries to get it out, back again to Lowe. He has a look up towards Lockett territory. Smart's there with him. Lockett didn't take it. The umpire's gone to ground and he's got to pay it. Well, the umpire fell just as the ball was hitting Lockett's fingertips for the first time.
Yeah, and you're saying it wasn't a mark, and I agree. It was not a mark. Tony Lockett gets his hands to it, no doubt. Oh, play on, maybe. I'm not 100% sure of that one. Dennis, what do you think?
Not sure either.
Well, the bottom line is that he's got it.
He's got the mark anyway.
And he's going for his second.
He did seem to have a firm grasp on that, having a look at the replay.
And this to make the margin 2 points. Directly in front, 15 metres out, and he's kicked.
A slow start by the Saints, but less than a kick in it at the first change. Let's go back to Moorabbin now, early in the second quarter, and St Kilda has added just 1 point.
Here's the bounce then. Not very high. Klug tried to direct it down. Bowie has it slapped away by McGuinness. McDermott disputing strongly. Comes up with the ball and will have a bounce just inside the attacking 50 now for the Crows.
That's not a bad move, I think, Dennis, too, with Ingerson centre half back, much more even in height. Maynard was giving away 5 centimetres. Ingerson only 1 centimetre shorter than Stewie Lowe.
And Ingerson can jump. He's got good spring. So boundary throw in just outside the 50 now. Ingerson and Lowe, and Klug and Vidovic. Trying to crash his way through Sanderson. Vidovic, an untidy handball. Jamison held a long time in the tackle. Vidovic got it out towards Bowie. Likewise held a long time. Jarman eventually. Klug close to the boundary line. Centering kick. Allen did well. And led Hodges, who's been very quiet, to the ball. Allen from half back towards the wing. Storming up the ground. Ralph Smith couldn't hang on. Finds it on the ground. Strong tackle. McDermott got him front on. Should have been holding the ball. And then there was a push in the back to Pekin, and he'll get the free kick.
Yes, I'm with you, Dennis. That should have been a free kick. A magnificent tackle by Adelaide there. And he had a chance to get rid of the ball. He took his chances, tried to dodge around the player and was tackled and then lost it. So it should have been a free.
Play on is the call. Interesting pass. Shanahan comes members side with a kick, and Morris. So they gain very little in terms of position. Now Burke sold into trouble. Met solidly by Filkey. Hodges went the man and knocked the ball and pays the price.
It's a fortune there for Russell Morris. Burke into the centre. Vidovic goes back to the runner. They've got the loose players now. Fletcher tucks it under his arm and heads towards half forward. Wren gets a hand to it, but that's all Lockett with strength. He shrugged a couple of tackles, gives it back to Fletcher from 40 metres out, shoots in towards goal and finishes it off. The strength of Lockett.
There's Big Tony. He's unstoppable. He's such a big man. A lot of people critical of him being overweight. There's a kick from Fletcher, getting away from Jarman on a couple of occasions. Tony Lockett takes possession. No one can stop him. McDermott and Smart were hanging off him. He just continued on his merry way, got the hand pass out. Fletcher following up, finished it off with a good goal.
The Saints by 4 points. McDermott tries to get the handball away. Bickley under pressure finds Jarman. Lee. The Saints have made a change. Devonport has come onto the ground, replacing DePetter. He may just about get his first touch here. Newport. It is. He gets them out of trouble, but only momentarily. Straight down the throat of Sean Ring.
The Crows have made a change too. Ross is on the ground and Klug is off, and Klug wasn't too happy about coming off. Here's McGuinness down towards half forward. Liptak up in front, recovers well, does brilliantly, gets it across to Lee, boots it down towards the attacking 50. Allen will be holding the ball.
Oh, free kick.
Shoulder, says the umpire.
Well, that's a strange one, Dennis. Free kicks well in favour of St Kilda, 14-6.
On the outer side, Giorgio centres it low, too good in the air, brilliantly done to Burke. Upended as he kicked into the path of Bowie, and or this man kick it to Winmar. Winmar 20 metres out, stabs it, Goldwood puts it through. That's his first goal, and the Saints now have kicked 6 of the last 7 goals in this game. They lead 6-3 to 4-5.
And what a frightening sight that must have been, with Tony Lockett charging out. Stewie Lowe starting to control the airspace around centre-half forward. Is Tony Lockett on the charge. We just saw him charge through. The Adelaide player wasn't hit full on. Who was that? Bickley, Sandy, who was the player that was nearly carried off on a stretch, I'd say, had they really met hard.
10 points the margin, favouring the Saints. McDermott to McGuinness. The skipper and vice-captain combined to put the Crows down towards half-forward, and Matthew Liptak. Saints are pouring on the pressure now. Devonport just onto the ground, applies a very good tackle. Here's an opportunity for Pilkey, running in towards the open goal, but he's tugged it right. 4-6, 6-3. He's the former St Kilda champion, now experiencing the trials and tribulations of coaching in the VFA. Trevor Barker looks on. Russell Morris brings it back into play. Lovely kick. Allen over the top of Jarman. Plays on. Goes very wide to Fletcher, who's picking up kicks at will. To the half-forward line. Danger here again for the Crows. Low. Beautifully on the half volley. He's on the 50-metre line. Can he get round? No, he can't. Gets his kick over, and Winmar takes the mark in the pocket.
Well, things starting to flow St Kilda's way at the moment after the initial 20-minute burst from the Adelaide Crows. St Kilda well on top 10 minutes into the second term and doing all the attacking.
Winmar for his second. He's kicked 173 goals in his career for the Saints to date. Listen to the crowd. Tell the story. Winmar gets his second. The Saints move to 7-3. Adelaide at 4-6.
Yes, and doing much better out of the centre of the ground at the moment. Look at this mark again. A good, courageous mark. Stewie Lowe looked as if he'd got around Ingerson, but Ingerson did well, dragged him, and as he kicked it, there's Winmar running with the flight of the ball. Another good, courageous mark. There's a kicking style of Nicky Winmar. Threaded it right through the middle from about 35 metres.
Corns, not a happy camper at present time. Back in the middle, Ralph Smith. Going in pretty solidly. Players of both sides. And I think we'll have a whistle and a ball up. At present time, the Crows breaking down hopelessly across their half-forward line. Sanderson at the base of that pack, but the half-forward line at the moment has Ross at centre half-forward, flanked by Liptak and Hodges. And really, Liptak, the only man of that trio touching the ball. Wren gets it down. McDermott. Hodges in front, fisted away by Allen. Trying to crash his way through was Harvey. Taken by Newport to Winmar. Across it comes to Devonport, across his body towards the wing. Bowie, so they initiate yet another attack from across their own half-back line to Fletcher. Advantage is paid. Fletcher boots it to half-forward Vidovic. And Vidovic would be about, I suppose, 45 metres out from goal. He'll kick from on the 50. Number 9, Lazar Vidovic.
I wouldn't be fancying his chances all that much. Dennis has never kicked a goal in his AFL career.
Well,
so maybe we'll be seeing it first.
Could be about to change. That's number 9 and number 1 with distinction by Ian Sinman, John McIntosh and Val Perovic. He kicks from about 48 metres out. He's off to the left-hand side. The big leaper down there from behind was Lockett. There's a whistle and Lockett infringed. And the kick will be taken by Smart. So Smart alongside the behind post, boots it out very wide. The top Pekin crashed into the pack. Georgia able to work his way in front, and he's going to get a free kick for being held without it, I think.
Yes, against Jarman.
Giorgio close to the boundary line, down towards Lockett. Good intelligent kick, favoured the leading player with the kick, just drifting it towards the line, and once that body got between Smart and the ball, it was always going to be tough.
Yeah, there's no way of getting around this big body once Tony Lockett's out in front. He's very quick for a big man over that first 10 metres.
Applause for Frankie Coughlin, who's playing his 100th game as he comes onto the ground.
Replacing Sean Ralph Smith. There's Coughlin. No one tries harder. But Tony Lockett is kicking at his 3rd goal, tucked away in the left full forward pocket. This to increase the lead to 21 points. And already it's starting to get out of reach as far as the Crows are concerned. Lockett. That's close. That's very good.
His accuracy by St Kilda, 14-7 to 8-10, and at 3/4 time the difference was 33 points. As we go back to Moorabbin, we pick up play at the start of the final term.
It's the Saints by 33 points. Schwartz got the run of it. In trouble immediately. Bickley got an awkward bounce. Harvey's over the ball. Bickley did very well. McDermott yet another possession towards half forward. Devonport swings it out wide. Pekin meters in the clear. Where are the big men? He pulls it back towards centre half forward. Lowe's the target. Well, they are unstoppable as far as the Adelaide Crows are concerned.
9 marks to Huey Lowe.
Lowe from just outside the 50. They cannot man up with Lockett and Lowe. Lockett got it on the ground and interfered with the man in front. That's Wren. Now, it can work when Wren has the time to get back. That hasn't been all that often this afternoon as Hart boots it to the outer side. On his knees, Sanderson. Liked his game today. This is McGuinness. Chips it out wide towards the wing. Devonport came at the ball with skill. Newport. Precise. Morris forward of the wing. Unloads yet another long one. Winmar drifting back. Fisted away by Wren. Bickley off balance. Maynard. Oops. Well, should have kicked it. Jarman finishes up with it. Goes towards half forward. Hart's on the ground there now, but he's clearly outmarked by Shanahan.
Shanahan across the centre he goes, looking for and finding Tim Pekin. Fletcher in the middle, off to the running Harvey, who'll pump it long in towards full forward. Lowe is there. Mark number 10.
It's almost to his average, averaging 11 marks a game, Stewie Lowe. In front of Tony Lockett and Nigel Smart. His big arms and hands go up. And a tremendous player again today, Stewie Lowe. Probably the early favourite for the Brownlow.
Lowe has 1 goal to date. That was in the first quarter. .30 metres out, almost directly in front. Now he has his second. Saints move on. 15-7, 97. Adelaide are 8-10, 58.
Very hard to stop those two big St Kilda forwards. Stewie Lowe starting off virtually as a second full forward as they're lining up at the centre bounce. Stewie Lowe and Tony Lockett both up there in the square. The rest of the forward line has been left wide open for the running players. If they do get the ball out quickly, the running players can run onto that space around centre half forward and around the flanks and Stewie Lowe and Tony Lockett virtually starting off on the edge of the 10-metre square.
15-7 to 8-10 as the time remaining. If Adelaide don't get the next goal, and pretty quickly I'd venture to say they're gone in this game, as Devonport finds Bowie in open space to the run of Winmar. Sweeping hand pass to accommodate Coughlin. He turns, lines up the goal, then decides to go in short to Lockett.
Very unselfish there for Frankie Coughlin. He was about to be run down and just changed his kick. A beautiful pass to the lead of Tony Lockett. There it is, a long sweeping hand pass from Nicky Winmar. Frankie Coughlin, I don't think he ever intended going for goal. Just looking for the lead of Tony Lockett.
And Lockett just 20 metres out from goal, aiming at his 8th. I think it's okay. 8 goals to Lockett. St.Kilda get their 16th. 16-7 the Saints. Adelaide 8-10.
As for Tony Lockett, has been unstoppable at full forward. The running players have been good. Frank Coughlin started on the bench, and since he's been on the ground has had plenty of touches. And Tony Lockett has been well on top of Nigel Smart. Also, Stewie Lowe has played another great game at centre-half forward.
Tony Lockett has half of St Kilda's goals. He's kicked 8. He's looking for double figures again against the Crows. Centre bounce, Wren uncontested, Schwert a high kick. Morris trying to spoil Ingerson, but is unable to. He marks just forward of centre. An awkward looking left foot kick towards Hodges. Got 2 hands to it. Hart scouting the pack, boots in towards goal and gets a very cruel bounce. It almost turned around. Fletcher. Burt. Jarman in over the top, asking the question. And getting a reply in the affirmative.
There's the player over the top of the ball. The umpire still aware of that free kick.
Allen spoils well. And some holding on going on. It's gone against the Adelaide Crows and will be taken by Allen in the back pocket.
He comes across the ground. Schwert comes back on Bowie. Well played by Schwert, but numbers tell the story. Harvey confronted by Sanderson, but got it to Pekin. This is Bowie, forward of half-back towards half-forward. Winmar juggled attempt at the mark. He was pushed in the back surely, and will get the free kick. Nicky Winmar forward of the wing. And now it's heart in the mouth time again for all supporters of the Crows. Wren was up. Coughlin knocks at Goldwood. Back goes Wiedemann. Stops quickly. Lee, very short. Wren's got it. Up towards left half back. Wren boots it out wide. Good mark by Tim Pekin.
It's not a good kick though from Wren.
Vidovic to Morris, who goes long. Lowe is going back. From behind there was Lockett. He finds the ball on the ground this time. Smothered off the boot well by Smart. It comes to Newport, who misses by quite a margin. Through it goes for a minor score. So the Saints increase their lead. Steve Newport, who played over 100 games, I think it was 101 with Melbourne. Just over 19 and a half minutes remaining till the end of this game, but I think as a competition, it's almost over now. Just a question before we go to Sandy, and that is, Bernie, we saw them play against the Bears last week, Adelaide. Paul Patterson, I thought, was stiff to go out of this team, and his strength in defence may have been handy, although how are you to know against players like Lowe and Lockett?
Yeah, it's a very difficult one. That one with Smart, who had a great season last year. He probably would have been smart if he had another week's rest, wouldn't he? Because coming up against Tony Lockett was an awesome task.
Wiedemann from the back pocket, looking for Wren, but with him is Vidovic. Fielke was ripped off the ball when he didn't have it. Advantage paid to McDermott, on to Jarman. Morris a fingertip. This crowd's going to erupt if the Saints going to attack again towards Lockett. He heads towards the centre. Coughlin giving away plenty of height. Giorgio, great skills. Coughlin, Newport, they may find Lockett. No, he goes over the top and heads for home with another one. Steve Newport gets his first. The Saints march on their merry way, 17-8 to 8-10.
All coming from a very good hand pass from the new player, John Giorgio. There it is again in replay. Giorgio is about to be tackled. Just got it away. Knew Frankie Coughlin was there. Coughlin also, the rough Newport, who's been very good. Steve Newport with 19 possessions has been well on top of Tony McGuinness, who's had 14.
The Saints by 52 points. Burke. Giorgio again gets it out magnificently to Bowie. Wants Lockett and finds him. No, play on is the call. Smart tackle. Wiedemann in the back pocket is beautifully claimed by Kickett as Lockett comes in over the top and he's picked. Great tackle by Kickett.
Yes, great tackle. He's been good today, actually, Dale Kickett. Not a lot of possessions, but he's worked very hard. Took the mark of the day. Magnificent mark in that first quarter. There it is, Wiedemann, who's has had a bit of a dirty day there. You could see Tony Lockett coming in on top of him.
One of the reasons Kickett got that free was that Wiedemann became very conscious of Lockett in the last split second, didn't he?
See what he can do. He's kicked another one. Quick goals to the Saints now as Dale Kickett gets his first. St Kilda lead by nigh on 10 goals. 18-8, plays 8-10.
Yes, well on top. This last quarter, they've just been continuing on their good form since the 20-minute mark of that first quarter. There's Tony Lockett burying Wayne Wiedemann. And Dale Kickett. Good to see the forwards working hard to keep the ball in that forward line.
Well, the Saints are putting on a clinic at Moorabbin. It's 18-8 to 8-10. They're playing some vintage stuff now, just getting it out of the centre. And it's excitement plus on their forward line as we go again. Bowie. High kick. Low. Out in front, Stewie Lowe. Still he goes to Kickett. They've got some talent on the forward line. Bowie in trouble. Across it comes to Fletcher. He's had over 20 possessions, Fletcher. He pulls it back. Wide of the mark this time, out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket.
Anti-climax.
Wasn't it? Still, it hasn't left the area. Smart, out wide, Winmark. Winmark, Kickett, Low, Lockett. A bit on the forward line. Winmark unloads. Kickett in front. Fletcher leaves it for Lockett. No pressure. I think he's kicked another one. Yes.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1992 AFL Premiership season.
And the Saints never in danger after quarter time. Tony Lockett there kicking his 9th goal. He finished with 10. And so after 3 outings against Adelaide, he has a total of 32. It was Winmar also kicking 4. For the Crows, Sanderson, McGuinness and Liptak each kicked 2 goals.
While Dunstall had a birthday, his St Kilda...
Each kicked 2 goals.
While Dunstall had a birthday, his St Kilda counterpart Tony Lockett continued his one-man demolition job of the Adelaide Crows at Moorabbin. Plugger, who had kicked a total of 22 goals in the past 2 meetings against the Crows, added another 10 today as the Saints hammered the visitors by 74 points. Peter Landy reports.
Despite last year's 131-point thrashing, the Crows started confidently today. Sanderson brought up full points after a good mark, and then Tony McGuinness drilled home 2 more in quick succession. Dale Kickett, though, brought the fans to their feet with this magnificent grab, and that fired up the Saints. Low marked in front, duly converted, while Lockett twice pulled in big grabs, each bringing up 2 flags. The second serve, however, was all St Kilda. Fletcher cut loose at half-forward for a fine running goal, while Winmar, quiet in the first quarter, booted 3 for the term as the Crows were stagnating. Lockett made it 10 goals straight to the Saints before Jamieson finally stopped the rot with Adelaide's 5th to leave them 27 points down at half-time. Things livened up momentarily in the third before Sanderson set the example to his teammates with an inspirational goal. Again, however, Lockett was the difference. He steered through 4 more with the Crows outgunned. The only interest in the last was whether he'd kick his 10th. This snap made it 9, and then right on the siren he did it, making it 32 goals and 3 outings against Adelaide. The Saints today by 74 points. Peter Landy, 7 nightly.
Melbourne and Melbourne and Richmond, the 3 teams that go to the MCG, are right down near the bottom. What a mark that was by Dale Kickett. Good play by Adelaide here, Filkey to McGuinness. The Crows couldn't blame a poor start yesterday. I remember last year the Saints jumped them at Moorabbin. It didn't happen yesterday. The Crows got away to a fly. But then St Kilda were just too big and too strong. And what a great symbol of that description by Lockett there when he just barged through and gave it to Fletcher for the hand pass. Lockett's had tremendous publicity during the week. And what about this with Scott Lee? Tony gets a free kick here. It must have been out of bounds on the full, but it's very hard to see. There goes Lee, but you watch the boundary umpire. Tony's looking for a free kick, and the boundary umpire says, yes, out of bounds on the fall off Scott Lee. I don't think he'd believe it. Lockett went back and kicked one of his 10 goals. He was just too good for Smart yesterday, and as I said, he's had quite a performance against Adelaide. He kicked 12 goals in his comeback match last year, then went to Adelaide and kicked 10, which brought up his century for the year, and 10 again yesterday. It came at just the right time because he has copped a fair bit of press during the week. New haircut, but still just as good as ever. And what about Father Christmas, as Dennis Committee described Scott Lee at the end there, passing it to Harvey in the dying seconds to pass to Lockett to kick goal number 10, and it couldn't have been a better finish for the Saints. So they're well and truly back in the 6, and Adelaide face a test